Shalom, Pastor Hartman, back at you with the truth, giving all praises to Yahweh Bashem, now Shabbat Shem Hakadash. And I'm going to entitle this video, The Slap, and other topics. Anyway, I didn't see the Oscars last night. I was on the road trying to make some shekels, so I got in late. And the next morning, it was a news channel. They mentioned it briefly, and I went to like one of the major news channels. It was Channel 2, Channel 7, whatever. Yeah, the highlight of the Oscars was Will Smith getting up and smacking the shit out of Chris Rock. But Chris Rock is a real one. He took that smack, man. And they at first they didn't know whether it was like staged, but the way Will Smith walked back to the seat, it wasn't no stage. He was mad. Some scriptures come to mind. Of course, I'm going to go in Isaiah chapter 3, verse 16 on down. I'll go right to the point. And also the scripture, this is in Proverbs, who knows the way of a man and his maid? Because this relationship between Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith is a rocky one, but he's the anchor. He like I said, the first precept to come to mind is who knows a man and his maid. You have a special, attraction, feeling for a particular woman, And I don't know the backstory behind all that, but there was a situation with this guy having a sexual entanglement with Jada, and she talks about it, and he doesn't know what to do because, Will looks at Jada as the love of his life. So, hey, that's how a man works. Hey, and the scriptures say this. For you guys with the long hair, the glory of a woman is her hair. The glory of a woman is her hair. The glory of man is the woman. And the main thing that the Most High took from us, look, if he cursed us on, we went into slave, came over here in slave ships, we went through all kind of hell, but we were cool with our women. Man, this shit would be easy. This captivity would be easy. So the Most High said, nope. He said, I'm going to even turn your woman against you. All right. So when you read the scriptures and you deal with life, everything is filtered through the scriptures, man. Everything. Let me see. There's so many things. There's about 5 precepts in my mind. I thought of one I wanted to bring out. Oh, yeah. So let me go here. Let me bring this tab over there. Bring that right there. Oh, yeah, this is, what is this? Bear me for a minute. I want to see why did I put this up. Keyword here is glory. Bear me for a minute. I don't know why I had glory up and I clicked on it. But anyway, you know what? Let me do this. That's a lot of reading. But anyway, it says, 1 Corinthians 11, verse 1, be ye followers of me, even as I am of Yahweh Shai. That's Paul speaking. So when people say, well, why we got to follow man? because that's the order. The Most High set up men to be over other men and women. And it's called being a prophet. The most important man in the scriptures at this point in time, and that every time in the scriptures were the prophets. That's the mouthpiece of the Most High. So the Apostle Paul was a prophet. He said, now I praise you, brethren, that remember me in all things and keep the ordinances as I deliver them unto you. So Paul gave them orders to keep, to do. But I would have you to know that the head of every man is the Messiah, and the head of the woman is the man. That's the order. That's why later in this chapter, he speaks about, women being over men, because there's an order right there. You got some of these women, mainly the daughters of Zion, which the whole nation of women are the daughters of Zion, because you remember all Israel. But I'm talking about, the kingdom of Judah. These women, they're out of pocket, man. They're out of control. That's why a lot of Jakes get with these Latin women and even get with Edomite women, man. And the head of the Messiah is the Most High. And this is for vocab. That's a separation between, you have the Most High, the Father, then you have the Son. Two separate entities that agree. Every man praying or prophesying, having his head covered, dishonoreth his head. So you got guys like Sakari does that, and I forget the justification. He pulled out a scripture, and brothers went into that, which I didn't even go watch those videos, too tough. But he got his men doing that, And those men in Phoenix, they should have stayed there. That's why vocab, quoted the wicked fleeth when no man pursueth. And he came, read it again. What y'all should have did was stay there. Well, no, normally we leave at 7 o'clock. Well, guess what? You had visitors. You should have stayed another hour and a half, 2 hours. Because he was going to play on that. On another thing, since I'm on vocab, this is pretty much a various topics, videos as the Spirit leads me. I'll get back into the Will Smith, Chris Rock thing. Another thing that vocab, he said, but I didn't get a chance to watch the whole video, something that the Apostle Gabar had put up last night. Like I said, I got home late, and I kind of briefly went through some videos and went to sleep. Matter of fact, I fell a goddamn asleep with my clothes on. And that happens sometime when I get in late. And it'd be like 6 in the morning, 5 in the morning. So, oh shit, got my clothes on. Anyway, he had made a statement that some brother in GMS said, look, we're going to get spiritual power and we're going to be able to throw a tank. And then vocab, chimes in on it like, that's crazy. Well, wait a minute. Did not the Lord say, because he doesn't have faith, that he doesn't believe in the Most High, The Most High is not in all his thoughts. Psalms 10. But the wicked shall not understand. Daniel 12, verse 10. Let me do this. Let's spell that right. Mountain. Bear me for a minute. Doing this the hard way. Let me try it this way. Okay, I believe I found it. I believe I found it. Matthew 17, verse 20. It says, and Yahushua said unto them, because of your unbelief, for verily I say unto you, if ye have faith. Now remember when vocab rolled up on us, he had the guy from What Do You Mean? Keep asking me questions. And I kept saying, that's based on faith. It's all about faith. Everything he asked me, I said, is based. He said, why do you say it to Israelites? Because it's based on faith. It's my faith. Why do you say that the Lord is a so-called black man? Because it's based on my faith. Why do you say that you blah, blah, blah? And I kept saying faith, and vocab played on it and had this song in the background of this guy, George Michael's, you got to have faith, the faith, the faith. So he played on it, right? But check this out. It says, if you have great faith, you can throw a tank. Hell, you could throw a building. You know, you could do whatever you want to do. You can go up into space. Hey, watch the movie, the first Matrix. The first one is the main one to watch. The first Matrix, Neo, which means new, which we are all coming to this thing new as newborn babes. And the person that guided him to believing that he was the chosen, which, by the way, if you didn't notice, Will Smith, they wrote that script for Will Smith. Will Smith turned it down. You know? So it was really the chosen one was supposed to be a Jake. And the one that guided him, which was Morpheus. And what does Morpheus mean? It means to change, to transform. So he had to transform. Neo had to transform from being Neo, which is new, to the chosen one. So that whole script, that whole movie is really based on the scriptures, loosely based on the scriptures. You know, you grow in this thing. And at the end of the movie, he had all the faith. He believed. You know, he went to the oracle. The oracle is what? The scriptures. And the oracle, which is a nigger woman in the hood, smoking a Newport, cooking cookies, baking cookies. She said, being the one, which is the chosen one. Being the one is like being in love. You know? In other words, when you meet a chick, you go out, you know, you kind of like her, she likes you, you know, you get in your first argument, and then you get back together, and then you might get into another argument, then this happens and you meet, you know, and then all of a sudden you in your mind, you love her, there's no one day, you know, today I fell in love with Peggy, whatever. And this is the problem. This is the problem with Will Smith, because he's in love. And like Richard Pryor said, I'm in love with a bitch I can't stand. Well, that's the chick that you love with. You in love with it. The one that you in love with is the one that you, on the other side, you can't stand her. Why am I doing with her? Why am I with her? And he got up there like it was a duel. He should have had a white glove and said, I challenge you to a duel. I challenge you to a duel. Just bugging. But hey, Chris Rock took it, man. He kind of knew it was coming, because he remembered when his mama used to take the house shoe off and smack him in, because remember that, you know, your mama would take that kick, she would kick kick her house shoe up to her. She wouldn't have to bend down. Tell me if I'm lying. She would kick it and catch it and smack you at the same time, and then throw the fucking house shoe back on her feet. I said, get in the room. So he remembered that. He he getting ready to smack the shit out of me like Mama used to do. But and I'm gonna get, like I said, I'm gonna get back into that. I'm just bugging here. You gotta bug out a little bit. Anyway, we're dealing with faith here, something that you don't have, vocab. And this is why we believe you're Edomite. And we actually believe you're Amalekite and Ashkenazim. By the way, Ashkenazim is a landmass, not an actual people. Meaning when the small hats call themselves Ashkenazi, meaning they're on the land where Ashkenaz dwelt, which was a Japhet. Okay, that's why you have some Israelite groups say, "Oh, the white man is Japhet." The white man is not Japhet. The white so-called white people got what so-called white people are actually Israelites. So it's not always about color, but so-called white people whose line goes back to Esau. You are Edomites, all right? Point blank, period, not Japhetic. Anyway, so let's read this again. Matthew 17, verse 2, and Yahushua said unto them, because of your unbelief, matter of fact, I got to go up a verse or two. Key verse is 20. Matthew 17, verse 20. And then this is why you got spies in the camps. You got spies all throughout the camps. And the reason why these spies, which are Israelites, are in the camps is because they don't believe. They're looking for the money. That's their job. Now you have some of them that come in and they start to believe. They start to believe, all right? Because it makes all the sense in the world. And the Apostle Paul was against the so-called Christians until he was knocked off the horse, and that whole situation. And he did a complete 180. And the people that he was a part of, there was an account of, I'm not going to go into, somebody can put it in the comment section. There was 40 men that took a vow saying, we're not going to eat until this man is dead, or we kill this man. And there was a situation where Paul had to escape for his life. They put him in a basket and let him out through a window. So he went through that, but guess what? These guys that were doing it, the Most High didn't open up their eyes, just like the Most High did not open up the eyes of vocab. And you might say, well, wait a minute, vocab's an Edomite. His eyes are not supposed to be open. You're right. But can the Most High open up other nations' eyes? Absolutely. Balaam was one of them. The king of Babylon, Nebuchadnezzar, was another one. You're going to have Edomites that's going to see things, man. Anyway, I believe it's okay. It's a demoniac. Demoniac. Okay, this is Matthew 17, verse 14. I'm a little bit all over the place, but like I said, this is the various topics. The slap and other topics. And when they were come to the multitude, there came to him a certain man kneeling down to him and saying, Lord, have mercy on my son, for he is lunatic and sore vexed For oftentimes he falleth into the fire and often into the water. And I brought him to he said, and I brought him to your disciples, and they could not cure him. Now, as you read on, the Lord cured him like nothing. Boom, he's good. Now, why couldn't the disciples do it? Because their faith wasn't strong enough. Their faith wasn't strong enough. That's why you got these agents and these spies in there, because they don't believe it. They don't believe that. But then they have dreams. They what is it? What if it's, they always say that. Esau too. What if this is all true? Well, Esau knows this is true, because Esau could go back and dig up things. Was there actually a King David? Let's go to where King David dwelt in the city of David, which is Bayathlacham, meaning house of bread. And let's dig up certain things. Oh yeah, it says Dawiyah. They got the Moabite stone, or the Meshe Stele. Look that up. The Meshe Stele, you got King David's name written on the Meshe Stele by King Meshe, and you got the name of Yahweh, and I believe you got Israel written on that as well. So this guy was saying that his God, Chemosh, defeated the God of Israel and the God of David. You can read the stone. Go to Google, put in Meshe Stele or Moabite stone. You go to images, then you can go to all or news, and it'll give you the whole backstory. So that's how they know that we are those people. They have the wall, the icons and the frescoes and mosaics, the paintings on the walls and so forth of them being in Egypt, and they portray them as being so-called black people, you know, dark people or different shade people with woolly hair. It says 17 verse. It says, then Yahweh answered and said, "O faithless and perverse generation." Who was he talking to? He was talking to his disciples. He said, you guys lack faith. It says, how long shall I be with you? Oh, and that's another thing. You got people that come into this thing and they basically, they don't grow. They in this thing for a month, 2 months, 6 months, a year, and they pretty much go so far. You got to grow in this thing. You got to constantly grow in this thing. And if you don't grow, guess what? You're that old wine bottle that when you put new wine in it, it leaks out. You know, you're that old garment that you try to put a new piece of material on it, and it tears the garment even worse. So just because you know you're an Israelite doesn't make you a prophet. It said, how long shall I be with you? And then, especially in this time, do you see that there's a major war going on in Russia? And America has already declared war against Russia. It just haven't physically manifest. Now, if a Russian soldier shoots one bullet onto Poland, that's war. They have to get the NATO has to get involved in that war. Then it becomes the Third World War, as Biden said. And they really don't want that because they know what's going to happen. So they got to fight it, man. So, but the Most High is going to make it happen. That's known as wars and rumors of war. We know that they're enemies now. They're arch enemies, Russia and the U.S. Because who's keeping this war going on the Ukrainian side? America. If America never helped them in any way, guess what? Russia would have been took over the Ukraine. And another thing, there's a lot of UFO, so-called UFO sightings happening. They're experiencing in that region where they're fighting. Why? Because the Most High set up the angels to be referees, because they have to regulate how fierce the war is that it doesn't spill over into Poland as of yet. As of yet. And remember, you go back to the Warsaw Pact. Warsaw is in Warsaw, Poland, in Poland. Now, the Warsaw Pact consisted of Russia, Poland, and other European nations. See, I'm all over the place, but Lord willing, I'll get back into that. But see, when we look at news, we filter everything through the scriptures. So it says, Matthew 17:17. Then Yahushua answered and said, O faithless and perverse generation, how long shall I be with you? How long shall I suffer you? Bring him hither. Bring him over here. Bring that little nigga over here. And Yahushua rebuked the devil, and he departed out of him, and the child was cured from that very hour. Because the devil, the demon, recognized the Yahushua. He's you got the Most High, the Father, then you got his beloved Son, then you got them spirits on the right-hand side, spirits on the left-hand side. That's in Job 1 and Job 2. So the spirits on the right-hand side and the left-hand side, they're still up there in the spiritual realm. Satan is up there too. You know what I mean when I mean up. I'm really talking about the fourth dimension, the spiritual realm. And Yahushua rebuked the devil, rebuked this demon, and he departed. He said, look, that's the Lord, I'm out of here. I'm out of him. And the child was cured from that very hour. 19th verse. Then came the disciples to Yahushua apart and said, why could not we cast him out? And the reason why they asked him that question is because they cast out demons before. But there's levels to everything. There's levels to the spiritual realm. This was a powerful demon. It says, or like vocab. Vocab is a powerful demon. It says, that's what you are. You said you're a demon. It says, and Yahushua said unto them, because of your unbelief. Who is he talking to? He's talking to the disciples, the 12. I'm going to pull out some words. Because of your unbelief, for verily I say unto you, if ye have faith as a grain of a mustard seed, and ye shall say unto this mountain. Now a mountain is far bigger than a tank, right? Remove hence to yonder place, and it shall remove, and nothing shall be impossible unto you. I don't have to read no more scriptures on spiritual power. That's what the Lord said, and it's based on faith. That's why I kept telling you, man, what do you mean? I kept saying faith. It's all about faith. It's based upon faith. It's my faith, which you don't have. And you're going to fail miserably, man. David Wood, he had a little debate with some Muslim, and he was mumbling and stumbling. That was an easy question to answer. Why did the Lord become a curse? Because he became the scapegoat. He became the sacrificial lamb. That's what. So when you commit a sin and you sacrifice a lamb or a bullock or whatever, that sin goes on that animal. So guess what? The Lord being perfect, the Passover is all about what? Getting a lamb that is unspotted, a lamb with no blemish, 1 year old, a male. Okay? That was the Lord. The Lord was he is the Passover. He was born during the Passover, and he died during the Passover. He wasn't born in no so-called December 25th. That goes back to Tammuz and Isis, and you know. So let me read that again for you, vocab. See, these guys from GMS, one brother said that you can throw a tank. Well, guess what? I'm gonna go deeper than that. You can throw a whole mountain. Matter of fact, you don't even got to touch the mountain. Huh? What about that? And they showed you that in the Star Wars series, man, where Luke Skywalker, which I met that guy, Hamill, I met him years ago with his family. He really real down to earth guy, man. Me and this other dude that I used to hang out with. But anyway, coming back to the story, remember when this guy had lost faith in Yoda, and Yoda had to show him by power, and he used the power to lift up his star cruiser, his ship. He lifted it up, and then it built up his faith. So guess what? The Lord. Can the Lord move mountains? Yeah, he can literally move mountains without touching the mountain. So if he can do that, a tank is lightweight. That's a warm up for the Lord. So did you read this scripture before you made that video, Vocab Malone? Let me read it again. If ye, I'm in the middle. If ye have faith as a grain of mustard seed, ye shall say unto this mountain, remove hence to yonder place, and it shall remove, the mountain shall remove. And if it was the tank would move, and nothing shall be impossible unto you, meaning you can do anything that you want. And another thing the Lord said, the scriptures say in John, it says he did so many miracles and so many great acts that if you were to write in the books, the world couldn't contain it. Somebody can put that in the comment section. I'm not going to go to it. What else? Something else came to mind. Oh, the Lord said this. He said that the works or the miracles that he's talking about the miracles that I do, he said, ye shall do and greater. So did the Lord just say you can move a mountain? Could the Lord move a mountain, Vocab Malone? Yes, he could move a mountain. So what did the Lord say? If your faith is strong as a mustard seed, which is a small seed, it can move a mountain. Literally. And then he said, the works and the miracles that I'm paraphrasing, that I do, ye shall do and greater. And it says that you cannot, matter of fact, let me go to that, because you might not believe that. So put up another. Okay, let's see what comes up. Okay, this is it. St. John, this is for you, Vocab. St. John, and when I say this is for you, Vocab, I'm saying it in my mind is Samuel Jackson in the movie. What's the damn movie? Damn. Samuel Jackson was in a movie. It wasn't Do the Right Thing. Oh, Jungle Fever. Jungle Fever. Before Samuel Jackson, the character, got shot in his nuts by his father, he did a dance. He said, "This is just for you." Well, this is just for you, Vocab, with Samuel Jackson doing the shimmy on your ass. Got to have a little fun with this thing, man. Anyway, it says, St. John 21, verse 25. And there are also many other things which Yahushua did, the which, if they should be written, every one, I suppose that even the world itself could not contain the books that should be written. So be it. It says, amen. I say, so be it. Okay. Where the hell am I? Damn. Okay, let me come back to this. I'm all over the place. So I read about the if you have faith as a mustard seed, you can tell a mountain to not even touching it, to come up, move, and go over there. So the simplest thing would be to throw a tank. That would be the simplest thing. So when vocab made that statement, that showed you that he doesn't have any faith, that the Most High is not dealing with him. That the wicked does not understand. You don't understand the power. You don't understand the power that the Most High is getting ready to give us. And it also says in 1 Corinthians, 1 Corinthians 15, around about the 50 some odd verse, it said, we shall be changed in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump. We will become supermen and superwomen. And yes, our women will have superpowers too. And even the Apostle Gabar went into the whole thing about Superman is based upon Hebrew Israelism. I'll use your word. When you look up the word, now the Apostle Gabar went off a little bit. He said his father's name was Jael. It was Jarel, if I'm not mistaken. And Jarel means Yah, meaning Yah, which means he. Ra means see, and Allah means power. Yara Allah. He sees God, or he sees the power. His son, Kalel, Kal in the Hebrew, look it up. Look it up, nigga. Kal in the Hebrew is all, and Allah is power, or God, or power. So Jarel's son name that his father gave him was Kal or Kal Allah, all powerful. His father's name was he sees power. So let's come back. Let's come back over here. So this is going back to the slap. It says, but I would have you to know that the head of every man is Yahweh Shai, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of the Messiah is the Most High. That's why in the kingdom of heaven, your women are going to be out of order. They ain't going to do what the hell they want to do. And see that, and what Jada did in dealing with this dude, this rapper, and she said it was an entanglement. That's cause for Will Smith to have her put to death. It says, and this is why. Now check this out. When on the news they spoke about it, after the fact, they said that when Chris Rock made that joke about G.I. Jane, I didn't hear the whole thing. Everybody laughed, including Will Smith. Will Smith laughed too, right? That's how the group laughs. Inside joke, I had to throw that in there for Apostle Arrive Live, because I know he's thinking that. Anyway, he looked at his wife, Jada Pinkett, and she wasn't smiling. She was like almost ready to cry. So that made him mad. Now, had she laughed with it, that he wouldn't have got up and slapped the shit out of Chris Rock. All right. So what was it? It was that who knows a way of a man and his maid. Oh, that was a funny joke. Oh, but my wife wasn't laughing. I'm gonna get up and smack the shit out this dude. And then Chris Rock was cool about it. Hey, props. And by the way, Chris Rock knows he's an Israelite. His wife used to work at the same job that me and Apostle Gabar and Apostle Ricard used to work at, And the bosses were so-called Jews, and guess what? They knew that we were the Israelites because we had road names, and I said this story before. My road name was Tahar. Gabar's road name was Gabar. So when they would call, they would say Tahar, they would say Gabar, we would salute in front of the so-called Jews. And with this so-called Jews loved us, man, for some reason. We do all kind of, we would have fights in there back when we were younger, and we beat this Hamite's ass. and then I said, you're fired. He said, how can you say I ain't fired? You are not the boss. And guess what? One of the so-called Jews, he came out, he said, get out of here, you're fired. And he saw the whole thing. He saw the whole thing, man. You know, so that was a funny thing. Anyway, let's come back into this. Let's come back into this. I'm a little all over the place, but please forgive me. Give me this little war stories. Yeah, they used to call me and Gabar the bushwhackers. And we were young, we were wild. Let me see. I don't even know why I went into that story whole. Anyway, every man praying or prophesying, having his head covered, dishonoreth his head. So, you know, you got Sakari saying, well, you know, Paul, Hebrews, you know what? I don't want to ever see these guys quote out of anything that the Apostle Paul has to say. And for that matter, don't quote anything that the Apostle Peter has to say. As a matter of fact, just do away with the whole New Testament. Because look, the Apostle Paul is not going to go out on his own and just say any old crazy thing. You think I'm going to let that happen? Let's say some brother in the camp comes to me that some brother said, you know, Edomites can make it. Some of them is going to make it. Guess what? We're going to say, nigga, what? Nigga, what did you just say? That was a line from Bamboozle. Anyway, and we're going to say, look, brother, what's your problem? If he, oh, I'm sorry, it was demons on me, or whatever the case may be, we might forgive him. Or we might say, look, brother, get the hell out of here. You know? Anyway, it says, every man praying or prophesying, and anytime you talk about the Lord, it tells you in Revelation, the 19th chapter, the spirit of the Yahushua is a spirit of prophecy. Okay, somebody can put it in. I'm not going to look for this in Revelation 19. It said every man praying or prophesying, having his head covered, wearing a baseball cap, wearing a sock over his head, putting a scarf over his head. Now you can wear a turban because your head is not fully covered. It said dishonoreth his head. Why was this put into the scriptures? Because this is part of the scriptures. Like I said, the Lord ain't going to come. Our Lord is not going to come to the Apostle Paul and give him all these revelations and then let Paul say whatever the hell he wants to say. That's stupid, man. So that's showing you that the Sakari, they don't have 100% truth. They know them precepts. I give it to them. They're young men, all right? They know them precepts, but they don't have the whole story, because if they did, they would be down with GMS or down with the Most High. You don't got to be down with GMS because we're not important either. We're just men. GMS is just a name. That name is going to go away anyway. All those names, ISUPA is going to go away when we're in the kingdom. There ain't going to be no GMS in the kingdom. It's going to be about the Most High, his beloved son, us, the angels, and our slaves. It says, but every woman that prayeth or prophesieth with her head uncovered dishonoreth her head, for that is even all one as if she were shaven. That's why she didn't laugh. Okay? Because she's ashamed of herself. Because in your spirit, you know that a woman's supposed to have long hair. They pray. Look, you want to make money? You want to become a millionaire? Set up a company where you braid hair and do nails and all that. Mainly hair. You always got beauty shops all over the place. Why? Because part of the woman's beauty is her hair. She don't got no hair. She might play it off like, I don't know, it ain't no big. It is a big deal. It's a big deal. When you go to Isaiah chapter 3, verse, Isaiah 3, verse 16 on down, it speaks about the curses that the Lord, actually you got to read Isaiah from the top. It tells you how he was on top the great orators, the warriors, and so forth, the peace, and how all that was going to be taken away. So, you know, having either short hair or bald hair, or what they call alopecia, which you're totally bald. In her spirit, she doesn't like that. Why? Because the Most High designed the woman, which Jada Pinkett is a woman, to have long, to glorify in their hair. You know, the Edomite woman, man. You know, they pull their hair back, you know, especially if they like you. You're talking to an Edomite or any woman, but mainly Edomite. If you're talking to a woman, an Edomite woman mainly, she'll take her hair and she'll ring it around her, you know what I'm saying? And then you be like, yeah, she digging on me, you know? And she'll have that smile, and she'll gloriously grab her hair from the back and she'll pull it to the front and she'll ring it around her face. See, the nigga woman can't do that, but they could do it with the weaves. They could do it with their weave. That's why y'all women, you get them extra long weaves, like your hair really decided to grow. No, we all know, Esau knows that them are weaves, man. And the reason why you have to get weaves in your hair or extensions is because this is a curse. And this also proves that we are the Israelites, that our women are Israelites. The small hats, what they do is, if you ever go into their communities, and I go in their communities all the time, the women, all the women, the grown women that have kids, you can see they got wigs on, man. Now I try to look it up. I already know why they got the wigs, because they shaved their head and they put wigs on as to fulfill the prophecy of Isaiah 3 verse 16. But the Most High didn't say that you're gonna shave your head. The Most High said he gonna take your hair. So guess what? The Most High, at one time, Jada Pinkett had long, beautiful hair. She ain't got no hair. Why? Because that's a curse that the Most High put on her, because of her entanglement and other things. All right. And Will Smith can't help to not loving her, because you know what? Man's glory is a woman. I guess he, you know, she reminds him of his mother, you know. Yeah, that's a very how can I say, complicated relationship that they got going. They got kids that are involved. Some of the kids, the Jaded and Willow, they're bugged out, you know, but they're in that celebrity world. And then you got to go back into why did Will Smith keep putting his lips on his son on TV? Because he was turning him out, because he's an insider, you know. But he got emotional that night. And then they gave him what's that called, the Ptah Award, which that statue really goes back to, I believe that Ptah, I believe, is one of the pharaohs. Somebody can explain it, you know. But and he had the staff, that's Ptah. I believe his name is Ptah. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But he goes back during the time of the ancient Egyptians, and he was like an Egyptian god or whatever. So that's all that is. That's a modern day replica of that god, or whatever, that pharaoh. That's a whole another topic right there. It says, fifth verse, and I'm gonna get ready to close. But every woman that prayeth or prophesieth with her head uncovered dishonoreth her head, and that is even all one as if she was shaven. For if the woman be not covered, let her also be shown. So the Most High can show you. He can shame you. But if it be a shame for a woman to be shown or shaven, which it is, let her be covered. Let's look up the word shown and or shaven. So who took her hair? The Most High took her hair. Okay, that's two different words. So let's look up the word shown. To share a sheep, to get or let be shown to of sharing or cutting short the hair of the head. All right. Now let's look up shaving. 3587. Surao. To share, shave, to get oneself shaved. So she didn't shave her hair. The Most High took her hair, fulfilling Isaiah chapter 3. Okay, so now let me just look around. Bear with me for a minute till this comes up. I don't even know what this is all about. Anyway, boy, oh boy. Okay, let me bring this back up like this. Okay, that's Tariq Nasheed talking about it, call it the slap. Oh, they'll be talking about it for a while. That's new the hashtag slap. So let me come over here. This is from Paul Kersey, commented to Har, was Will Smith in the right spirit? Well, I'll say this, he was in the spirit. What he did, was he right? What would you have done? I don't know. I don't know. I'll put it to you that way. I'll take the easy way out. But I mean, he came he came in the honor of his wife, but his wife is going off. That's why the Most High cursed her with that disease, whatever you want to call it, virus, disease, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, yeah, I'm getting ready to close. Anyway, this is the Atlantic Report. I subscribe to them. I'm gonna watch this one. Jim Ricketts, he goes in, straight no chaser. Jim Ricketts, the worst financial market crash nobody believed was coming is already upon us. Exactly. The reason why all these prices, the food prices, everything's going up is because the value of the dollar is going down, because they've been producing these fake dollars out of thin air. This is another one I watch. Epic Economist, another one, uploaded food shortages, food shortage aggravates as supply chain breakdown trigger panic at local supermarkets. And this is all done by design, right? This is all done by design. If the majority of you Americans and people around the world can't see it, then you're gonna dig yourself deeper into a hole. See, these like Australia and these other European nations and maybe darker nations, they're protesting that because they see that this is a big scam. It's a big agenda. And the memo was only given to the elite. So now people are figuring this whole thing out. Anyway, with that, I'm gonna say shalom.